Hello, I'm Tony, and in this review we are looking at Last Day of June, which is available free from Prime Gaming until the end of November 2022. First things first, there appears to be a huge bug with the game. If you quit the game, it saves your progress, but running the game again causes a crash. This happened to me, and it took a while to find a fix, which for me was to go to the install location for the game. Mine here is the default for Amazon games, and set compatibility mode to Windows 7 on the executable for the game. I then had to run the game as an administrator by right clicking and do run as admin, and it worked fine after that. Nothing else worked. Hopefully that works for most people. Okay, that's the major issue out the way that we needed to talk about. Let's talk about what the game was actually like. Well, it was pretty good. It's an interactive story with fairly minor puzzles to solve. Without spoiling anything, because as with all of these games, the story is the main point. You are a man without eyes, but with glasses that are bigger than your entire body, who wants to change the past. You get to relive a couple of hours in the past through 4 more characters that you meet in the game, and you can change their actions to achieve the result you want. This is where you solve minor puzzles. There's a larger puzzle though, because you need to revisit each character a number of times, like a slide-in puzzle where you need to move pieces out of place to complete the full picture. Actions of one character will open up different actions for another, so my time of playing, all the actions were pretty limited. Once you got all the characters chosen, all the right options, bingo, hey presto, game completed. If that didn't make sense, it will when you play the game. The story is told through an almost claymation style. The characters have large heads, thin bodies, and, disturbingly at first, no eyes, just empty sockets. And the animation is very reminiscent of the Wallace and Gromit type animation style. It's mostly charming, though they have the unintelligible speech, and they do little giggles and laughs and stuff, which grated a little bit at times. It's not too bad. I did get invested into the story, up until the point it took a couple of hours to fix the game, after which I completely lost interest. While I was playing, I did spend a fair bit of time trying to discover alternative options for the 2 characters that I played, but didn't really find any. It's essential for you to undo the fix you made with the first character in order to fix the second character, which made me sigh a little because there were enough uninterruptible cutscenes that going back to the first character felt like a waste of time to me, given that I basically just needed to spend a couple of seconds and click once to do what I needed to do. You don't have to redo everything you did as that character. It's cut down a lot, which was a relief, but it just didn't feel good to go back on what I'd already done. This is after the frustrating fixing the game, by the way, so it could have everything to do with that. From what I've seen, the game's only about 2 or 3 hours long, so without having to revisit previous characters and redo their thing a couple of times, the game would be over in no time. And I guess it's important for these temporal problems to have to make these adjustments. I just got really soured on the game after the crash. If you don't mind a bit of work to run the game like I previously mentioned, and assuming that fix works for you, I think that investment in the story that I had initially would have carried through. The story is good, and I did want to figure everything out initially. I can't recommend a game that only lets you play it once before crashing, so I won't. I will just say that when it worked, I was enjoying it. I'm going to have to leave it up to you to decide if you think the hassle of getting it to run is worthwhile, assuming the fix works for you. It's such a shame, because I probably would have recommended it otherwise. It's a mostly charming, temporal story. Oh well. On that poorly coded, crash-prone note, I'm off. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.